Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.
If we're talking about rivalry, I have a quick question. Do you think arch rivals can ever work together? China and the United States are trying to. The last time they worked together, the two countries were trying to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. They failed. It's been a while since. Why are we talking about sino-US ties? Because one has just left Afghanistan and the other is waiting to fill the vacuum. There's another reason why we are talking about China and the US tonight. Their presidents are talking. Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Joe Biden spoke on the phone today. The call lasted nearly 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half. What happened? A lot of translation, I'm sure. But here's what they talked about. Finding a way forward. That's what the White House says. For those who haven't followed US and China, here's a quick recap. The United States and China are in the middle of a trade war. It began in 2018. The United States placed 25% duties on nearly $34 billion of imports from China. China retaliated by slapping a 25% tariff on 545 goods originating from the US. The blow of taxes continued. Ugly jibes were exchanged. The US then called out China for the Wuhan virus pandemic, quashing the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. Washington also slapped Beijing with sanctions for Uyghur genocide and sent warships to the South China Sea. The two countries have forced each other to shut consulates. It's safe to say it's the lowest point in the US-China relationship. This was the first time in 7 months that the leaders of the two countries directly spoke. And only the second time since Biden's inauguration. Who called whom? Reports say Joe Biden requested the call. Well, next question, why? Reports indicate that American officials thought the Chinese were not coordinating or taking conversations seriously. In other words, the president needed to step in, so he did. What happened next? The White House said Biden and Xi spoke about areas where their interests converge and where they diverge. Well, there's only one thing that both China and the United States want, and that is global dominance. That's where their interests converge and also almost immediately diverge and turn into competition. The White House readout says the two leaders spoke about how to, quote-unquote, responsibly manage the competition. The Chinese summary of the call was much longer. It said that Xi Jinping pointed out that the China policy adopted by the United States for some time has caused serious difficulties in Sino-US relations. The Chinese also made it a point to add some flattery here. Allow me to read out to you what they said. Whether China and the United States can handle their relations well is at stake for the future and destiny of the world. It is a question of the century that the two countries must answer. One thing both China and the US seem to be emphasizing on is the way forward. The message from both sides is that the two are looking at moving forward, showing strategic courage. The question is, why suddenly? To me, it looks like Joe Biden picked up the phone hoping to do some damage control. And I will tell you why I say so. Biden's leadership, is being questioned over Kabul. It's happening at home and outside. The last thing he needs is for China to add to the blow. If there's one thing we know about Xi Jinping, it is this: he's unpredictable. And the Biden administration does not need any more surprises at the moment. Not too long back, Biden met Russian President Vladimir Putin with the hope to create a predictable relationship with Russia. So to me, it looks like the call to Beijing this morning was no different. We can't forget that the US has a lot at stake when it comes to China. In 2020, China was the largest US goods trading partner, with total trade at nearly $660 billion. China was also the third largest US export market and the largest source of US imports. The last thing the Biden administration needs right now is an economic setback from China. Come to think of it, looking forward is a win-win scenario for both China and the United States. It's easier said than done, but it's a good strategy to pursue. Beijing gets to slowly fade out questions and conversations on Hong Kong and hopefully Uyghurs, and Washington gets to keep its position as the world's top economy if China allows it. So to answer the question, can arch rivals work together? Well, when it suits their interest, they very well can, and that's called diplomacy. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.